Hi everyone, hope all of you doing great. And in this video, let's now try to understand what native execution engine in Microsoft Fabric means. This is a new feature which was introduced just last Monday at MS Build event. But why exactly this is a big deal, let's now try to understand. We know that Java processes can run on any machine where JVM is installed, irrespective of the hardware or the OS. But this flexibility comes with a cost, which is speed. Since in JVM, the code is not compiled into a machine understandable code like C++, this is slow. And also, the memory management in JVM, particularly the garbage collection, introduce a lot of performance bottleneck. So what if we can just bypass this JVM entirely and run our Spark SQL code on Spark cluster directly? This is where native execution engine comes into the picture. It tries to convert the Spark SQL code, which can run directly on the Spark cluster with the help of this Gluten and the Velox engine. So the architecture, as you can see in my screen, so Gluten, this is actually the glue which binds the Spark SQL with the Spark engine. So this Gluten tries to convert the Spark SQL code into a substrate plan, or you can think of it as a JSON. Once it's converted into that JSON plan or the subset plan, the Velox engine takes that particular plan and do all the computation, joins, aggregation, and gives you the result, and which actually gives you this performance boost. So this can be done, whatever this architecture which I showed, like there can be some other kind of architectures, and this is being done differently in Databricks through their proprietary engine, which is Photon. In Fabric, we are using Gluten and Velox engine. Both this Gluten and Velox are open source projects. Gluten, which was introduced by Intel in the beginning of 2022, and Velox is another engine which is maintained by Meta. Both of them are open source. So now there is another aspect of it. If let's say Gluten is unable to convert this Spark SQL code, it falls back to the native Spark engine. And if you just look into the DAG or the query plan, you'll be able to understand like which engine have actually executed the particular piece of code, whether it's a Gluten and Velox or the native execution engine or the Spark engine. Let's now try to see like how we can enable this into a notebook. For that, let me just go into my Fabric notebook. So here, if you can see, like we have a workspace where we can define an environment. We can just give an environment and just give it network execution engine and EE. And here, if I go into my Spark properties, I can add properties. And what properties to add? If you just go into the documentation which is provided by Microsoft, there are two configurations which we need to add. So if you can see, this is spark.gluten.enable, which is true, and the spark.shuffle.manager. And we just need to put this particular configuration settings or values. So this is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is that we can directly go into our notebook and also we can just Okay, so every time you change these settings, you just need to wait for the cluster to restart, because these are the configuration settings, and you can just start, just change it and just expect your code to take this up without restarting your cluster. So you have to restart your cluster. So that's it for today. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have liked this video, just like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.